If you eat healthy food, your bones also will remain healthy. And exercising, and especially those exercises that you are doing against gravity, can help you to build strong bones. Supplements like calcium and vitamin D can also help you to maintain healthy, strong bones. And for more mature women, when you are going into that period of menopause, you can also have some supplement with hormone replacement therapy. It will also help you to maintain healthy bones. As I have said earlier, stay away from fizzy drinks, because fizzy drinks have got a lot of sugar, and sugar is also against your bones. Because if you drink or eat a lot of sugar, in order for your body to balance what we call the pH in your system, because of too much sugar in your system, one of the mechanisms is that because the sugar that you are drinking does not come with mineral, in order for your body to balance the pH, it is going to go and take those minerals that are in your bones to balance the pH. And by doing so on a extended period of time, you will develop what we call osteoporosis or weak bones. So sugar is one of your worst enemies. Don't commit yourself in taking too much sugar. Women, we need also to look at our mental health. If there are times when you are feeling you are sad, you are always tired, you cannot sleep well, or your eating patterns have changed, you know that you need to see someone to help you. You need to see a health professional to help you. Now, up to so far, I was talking about those self-check, those checking that you can do at the comfort of your home, yourself checking your health. But there is also some checkup that you need to do when you go to see your doctor. Now, when you go to see your doctor is going to take history from you to know if there is any risk factors that are related to your family. He will also take history to know if maybe you are living a lifestyle that is putting you at risk for certain types of diseases. He will take your weight and your height so that he can know your BMI. And if he knows your BMI, then he will be able to classify you to know that you are underweight, or you are having normal weight, or you are overweight. Because if you are overweight, you are prone to develop what we call lifestyle diseases. So if you go and see your doctor will be able to tell you those things. Now, measuring your waist circumference, your doctor will also be able to measure that, even if you do it at home, but your doctor will also be able to measure that and see if you are within the normal range or if you are above the normal range, and that places you at risk of developing what we call lifestyle diseases. Tests like, checking your thyroid gland. It is, that gland is a gland that you find, on your neck, and it plays a very big role you look and in the way your life runs. Because now, if that gland is not functioning properly, sometimes it will make you gain too much weight, or sometimes it can make you lose weight. So that your doctor will be able to see and tell you that your thyroid gland is working well or it is not working well. What can we do to help it? The doctor will also check your health, your heart health. Now, your heart health begins with checking your blood pressure. Now, nowadays, you don't need to go to the doctor in order for you to check your blood pressure. There are, even in some shopping centers, we've got supermarkets where, there is also that pharmacy section or that health corner section where you can have your blood pressure checked. Please, let's check our blood pressure. It's very, very important. And you know, when I'm talking about blood pressure, ladies, I'm not only talking about those mature women who have to go and check their blood pressure. Even young women needs to check their blood pressure. Even nowadays, we can see children developing high blood pressure. Why? Because of the lifestyle that our children are living nowadays. It is not conducive to maintaining good health, because most of the time our children are sitting in front of the TV and not doing any exercise, especially if they are not going to school. They are busy eating junk food, and this really, it's just putting them at risk of developing high blood pressure. So, you know, it's very important to check your blood pressure, and at your doctor's room, you know, your cholesterol can also be checked. Now, when we speak about cholesterol, I don't want you just to have an idea that cholesterol is bad for you. No, we've got, you know, cholesterol that is bad for you, and we've got also cholesterol that is good for you. So there is like what we call low density lipoprotein or high density lipoprotein. So the one that we call high density or HDL is the one that is good for you. And if you've got enough of it, it will help you to prevent what we call heart diseases. So all this will be done at your doctor's room. There are also many other tests that can be done there, but I want to mention cholesterol because this is, you know, more frequent vocabulary that is heard among people. About reproductive health, what we can do, women, is also to have what we call Pap Smear. It's a test that is easily done at the clinic level. It's a test that checks the mouth of the womb to see that there is no cancer developing there. You know that cancer, if it's caught or detected early, it can be managed, and it's, you know, you can preserve life. But if it's caught late at a time when it is more advanced, it is, you know, difficult to manage, and especially, you know, cervical cancer. Many women are dying of cervical cancer, but a simple test that is called Pap Smear, it is done in the clinic. It's a simple procedure that you can do maybe twice a year, you know, for young women. It is going really to help you, or maybe every second year it can help you depending on where you are. So we are not all having the same problems. There are those who have got a family background, so you will even do more frequent checking of your Pap Smear. Other tests that can also be done, it's what we call human papilloma virus test. It's, you know, it's one of those tests that you do so that you can check, because if you have been exposed and it is not checked through Pap Smear, it can also expose you to developing cancer late in life. So inoculations are done to help you to have immunization against this. We'll talk about that later. Other tests, or, you know, in your reproductive health, will also include sexual transmitted diseases to help you to detect if you've got, you know, any sexual transmitted diseases. If they are treated, you know, it can help, especially women at a reproductive stage, to prevent them from having difficulties in having children. I'm just running through my presentation, but I know you will have time for questions. Breasts can also be checked at your doctor's room, and there is this test, this type of X-ray that will be done, you know, in your breasts to check if there is any lump or any mass that is developing there, so that they can detect it early and, you know, prevent that. But also your doctor will do a proper clinical examination of your breasts so that they can be able to detect any lump developing in your breast. Bone health as I told you, if you look after your bones, you know, it is going to be a good thing for you. But the doctor also can do what we call a bone mineral density screen through special type of x-rays, so it will tell you at which level you are in terms of bone health. There are a lot of tests that needs to be done. I'm just running through them. Your digestive system, especially your colorectal health, needs to be checked as well, especially if you are over the age of 50. It needs to be checked. Your eyes, your ears, and your teeth, as I've said, it needs to be checked. You must check your eyes because, you know, people who have got, for instance, high blood pressure, you know, their eyes can also be affected, or people who are suffering from sugar diabetes, it's really certainly affects their eyes. So you need to have your eyes checked regularly so that you can know where you are sitting. And as we grow, your hearing also, you know, is decreasing. So you need to have your ears also tested so that you can know if there is anything that can be done, or if you are developing a hearing problem, you can enhance your hearing through, you know, anything that they can put in your ears so that you can be able to hear properly. Your skin also, as I said, look after your skin. Don't just put anything that is sold out there in the market that says this is eco, this is natural. Look for products that are going to maintain the health of your skin. And if you have got maybe any mole or any thing that is worrying you in your skin, don't hesitate. Go and see the doctor. He is going to help you to see that your skin is healthy. Now, other things that we need to do and that we can do from the doctor's side is that we need to get some immunization, some vaccine that will help us to fight diseases from coming to us. I know that when it's flu season, they will tell you, or you will see in pharmacies that they will tell you influenza vaccine is available. You can do that as well. And there is also vaccine against some type of sexual diseases, which is like hepatitis B. You can get a vaccine. And if maybe you are also working in environment where you can easily contract that, like healthcare workers, you can go for that. For I mentioned also about human papilloma virus, which is HPV. You can see that that is also done, and they are trying to catch our girls from early age. I'm sure you have noticed that sometimes your girls have been given vaccination at school, and this is, you know, just trying to catch them because before they become sexually active, they give them this vaccination to help them not to develop this disease in the future. There are many types of vaccinations that you can get, but those are just a few that I thought I can mention to you that will help us to maintain health. Now, coming back to really looking after your health, there are pillars of health that you need to observe in order for you to have good health. So I'm sure up to so far I am helping somebody. And if I am helping somebody, I just want you, you know, to signal there, and even those who are following us to know that you are happy with what I'm telling you. And, you know, from the beginning, I told you that these are things that you know, but I'm just trying to, you know, put more emphasis today so that you can remember those things. If you have forgotten about them, that you can remember them and do them again so that you can maintain good health. Because if you don't have good health, you cannot even do the things that we are doing right now. Because if today I was sick, I was not going to be able to sit in front of this camera to talk to you about what I am talking about. But by the grace of God, we have made it this day. But yes, God is helping us, but we need also to look after our health. There is a part that ourselves we need to play in order for us to have good health. Yes, divine health is there. Yes, the Lord has healed all our diseases through his stripes. But we need to look after ourselves as well. We need to do those things that are going to go a long way with the word of God so that we can maintain good health. Now, some of the pillars that are going to maintain good health is eating living food, doing detoxification, having some nutritional supplements, exercise, sleeping, and resting well, and coping with stress. Now, when we are talking about living food, as I told you, living food is food that will bring nutrients that needs to build your body. And those nutrients will really help you to build your body.
Something inside so strong. We are rising above, ladies. And this afternoon, we are so honored by the Lord to have the one and only Miss Lira. She is the pride of South Africa and Africa to the world. Let me introduce her. She's the winner of the 2009 South African Music Awards. Lira fuses soul, funk, jazz, and African music. She was the only African singer to take part in President Barack Obama's inauguration ceremony in 2013. Lira was born in Johannesburg, East Rand, and grew up listening to Miriam Makeba, Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, and Nina Simone. She began writing her own songs and performing live at the age of 16, and over the last 10 years, she has built an international career. Now a multi-platinum selling and award-winning Afro-soul vocalist who refers to her music as fusion of soul, funk, elements of jazz and African music. She won the Album of the Year and Best Female Artist at the 2009 South African Music Awards. Miss Lira is a successful South African artist who has had the best breaks in her music career. She is currently celebrated worldwide for her contribution to the industry. You are most welcome, Miss Lira, to the Sisters Health and Rising Above virtual conference. Over to you.
Thank you so much. What an incredible introduction there. Thank you. Firstly, I'm just very grateful to be here. I really enjoy these engagements, these, where as women we get together. I'm just very privileged and very thankful. With these challenging times, Arabang sent me a few questions, and I'll just kind of borrow from them. We are going through a very difficult time, that is for sure. But the way I see it is sometimes in great adversity is great opportunity. Sometimes blessings are wrapped up in very scary and very challenging situations. And all of us in our lifetime have never experienced anything like this. But it's not the first time in human history that something so dire has happened. So this is just our season to experience something globally. But often when something like this hits everyone, where nobody is immune, nobody is above or beneath, nobody is better than, it affects all of us all the same. There's also a clue that it's something very spiritual, very deep. It's an opportunity. Spirit is trying to speak to all of us all at once. And it's been such a beautiful, profound time. And I feel like the biggest gift is to go within. We are being called, we are being invited, we are being summoned. We are being drawn from within. That the way we've been living life is no longer going to be sustainable for what's coming in the future. It's forced us to sit back and look at how we have been living our lives. Are we happy? Are we healthy? Are we the best mothers we can be? Can we sit by ourselves? Can we sit in our homes? Can we sit with our partners? Can we tolerate our children, husbands, our situations? How is our life? Is our job our source and supply, or is our God our source and supply? It's literally stripped us. It's allowed us to put a mirror in front of ourselves and go, who are you? What matters to you? What is valuable to you? And these are such important questions, because in truth, we are always supposed to live like that. We are supposed to be self-aware, constantly aware of what we are feeling, what we are thinking. And because whether we like it or not, life is actually created from within, whether we like it or whether we acknowledge it or not. We are more spirits who are living in bodies than we are bodies living a spiritual life as such. So this time is forcing us. A lot of us have just been forced to sit at home, be with ourselves, be with the lives that we've built, and sit there and ask ourselves, am I happy? Is this a true reflection of who I want to be? Am I comfortable with, when I look around, am I at peace with what I see? And so unfortunately, people have lost businesses. Life as we know it has come crumbling down. And for me, it's been one of the most fulfilling years of my existence. One of the happiest years of my adult life. And I think the thing that really makes that year feel this way for me is because last year I had a very big life event happen to me, but ultimately it was another thing that shook my life up and asked me, are you happy? Lira, are you happy? Are you happy within yourself? And when I looked around, my life was beautiful. My life is beautiful, but there were certain areas I wasn't unsatisfied with. And it's like my life yanked me and said, do something about the things that you're unhappy about. And so all of last year, I got into a space of remembering how it is like to be in my own skin, to sit with my own spirit, to feel my own joy again, to feel that spark in me again. And sometimes we forget, in the hustle and bustle of being mothers or career women, you're chasing all of these dreams, but what for? Imagine you chase all this money, you make all these millions, and then you are unfulfilled, and when you're unfulfilled, your body tends to break down. I reflect on Steve Jobs. With all of his millions, he could not save his life. Because when he had the chance, the focus was not balanced. There's nothing wrong in chasing success and money and all these things. Nothing wrong with that. But the question is balance. Life is calling us to be a bit more balanced. So sometimes you might work so hard and your children don't get to see you. They don't get to sit with you and just have small little reflections. They don't get to have fun with you. You're always stressed. You're always aggressive. You don't even have time to be tender and loving with your partner. Little things like this that really fuel the human being. Sometimes we chase all these dreams at the expense of our well-being. And I feel like my life was calling me towards it. It was saying, honey, yeah, you're doing well, but you're not really happy. And, it was tough to admit even to myself, to say, my picture looks beautiful. It really does. To this day, it looks beautiful. But inside, something wasn't right. And my life was calling me to reflect, to say, so what are you going to do about it? And now 2020, I feel, has forced everyone to stop, put everything down. You have no choice. You have to deal with yourself. Let me tell you one thing about life. Everything that happens to us, even the most detrimental, seemingly detrimental things, everything that happens to us happens for us. I'm going to say this again. Everything that happens to us is happening for us. Even when it seems painful, when you feel like, what me? Why me? Life loves us. Fundamentally, life loves us. And all of you are spiritual women. And so for a fact, God says God is love. God is love. And for me, life, love, and God are the same thing. So even when life has its ups and downs, I see it as God loving me. I'll give you an example. I had a friend who bought his first house just before he turned 30, bought a beautiful 3-bedroom house. It was lovely. And they broke into the complex and stole 2 cars there. One of the cars was his. So now he's sitting there and he's saying, I can't believe, this is happening to me. I've just moved into this house. I just don't need any of this drama anymore. However, the first thing, somehow I just knew to ask this question. I said to him, I'm sorry your car got stolen. Were you shopping for a new car? And he says to me, no, I mean, I was happy with my car. There was, it's just frustrating. And he starts complaining, of course. So then I said to him, are you sure you weren't looking at another car? You weren't maybe shopping for another car? He says, well, not really, because I'm happy with my car. But I did want to get an upgrade for my 30th birthday. Okay, so we leave it and, it fizzles out. Lo and behold, because his car was stolen, his insurance gave him just enough money to afford the car that he was planning to have for his 30th. Now, we sit back and we say, was it the devil testing it? What, So I've learned to, in order to get in rhythm with life, I really, my set point is life is always working for me. Another silly example, another friend of ours, every time I get into her car, she complains about her radio. My radio this. I would love to just put nice speakers while always moaning about her radio in her car. Girl, I don't care. Every time. Lo and behold, somebody breaks the back window, steals the radio. How, friend? I'm like, oh, well, there you go, Sorry, but you've been complaining about it. And the things you complain about, sometimes you will attract those kinds of things happening. Again, the insurance gave her enough money not only to fix the window, but to get an amazing sound system. So now do we sit back and go and lament all of these problems? So the point I'm trying to make is that indeed life is always working for us. Last year I was so sad, I felt life was falling apart, but no, life was listening to me saying, I'm unhappy. How do we get you to be more happy? I had all the time to tune in last year, to really just fall in love with the person I am, to love my life, to love who I am again, to love my little quirks, to be fully accepting. And because of last year, 2020 has been nothing but a blessing. Why? I was already used to being by myself. And somehow by being by myself, I got to tune into the Spirit of God in a sense that, God speaks to all of us without exception. We are all worthy of hearing from God directly. Sometimes our religious training takes this belief away. We think the pastor, there's a hierarchy. There are people who are gifted, but God speaks to all of us every day, right? But we don't think we are worthy, so we don't place ourselves in that position of worthiness. And so the more I spend time with Spirit, I'm able to hear God's word through my own intuition, through my own being. And what I've learned to do is to trust it, So in the process, I was intuitively moved to squash certain debts, to put certain monies away. Lo and behold, 2020 comes, musicians can't do anything. Lira is in a completely comfortable position. I have no weight on my shoulders because way ahead of time, God saw something was coming and moved me, but I had to be movable. I had to be available. So it speaks to again, I'm bringing it back to this year that now we are being forced. Now we have no choice but to sit and be receptive. Whereas at that time, yes, it gave me a challenging situation that seemed like it was a big life altering. It was depressive. No, it was a gift. It was an invitation to listen more, to be available more to Spirit. So indeed, I responded. Again, our relationship with God is a dance. It's a relationship. It's a two-way street. And so as women, we have a beautiful gift of intuition. Of literally, and this is the trick now, is to trust those little things, those little nudges, those little ways that life moves you in life. You need to trust that. That is, God speaks of the Holy Spirit. That Holy Spirit is that same counselor that's been left within your being that you must learn to trust. So then I find myself now in 2020, I'm very in tune inside. All my needs are met, and I mean all my needs are met. And there's overflow. I'm able to take care of my band. I'm able to look after family. I'm able to help wherever I can. And I love that because that's God proving himself. Absolutely proving himself. It's real. It's not a concept. It's not some Sunday discussion. It's real. It's visceral. It's true. I've got evidence. And so this is my core message now to everyone. So let's say you've lost a business. Let's say you've lost a job. Yes, it's difficult. I do not discount that. But it's causing you now to sit back. Was I fulfilled? Was I doing what I love? Was I applying my passion? Was I flourishing? Because typically you come around and you complain everything about your job or about your business. You're always moaning. You're always moaning. You're always moaning. That energy has to land somewhere. It will give you some sort of result, whether you like it or not. So if you don't like how it is, life will force you to change it. Life will give you an opportunity to change it. It's not punishing you, it's giving you an opportunity. But we are such in a habit of complaining and lamenting and moaning and that is productive. That's sort of all of these things. The Bible says there is life and death in the power of the tongue. You must learn. I cannot stress this enough. You must learn to bless your own being. You must speak words of power and life through your mouth. And what we typically do, think about it, in the mornings, or say the WhatsApp groups are the worst. We sit there and we share all of these negative things. We share how so-and-so did what. We collect, we like to gather around all these news. And let me tell you what we do when we do that. When we get, it's like a fire, fire. So all of us, with our energy, we add to the fire, it grows. We add to the fire, it grows. And then we expect that when we sit by ourselves, life is going to be good. No, it affects you as well. What that is that sometimes you think when you're throwing energy there, think about it. When you hate someone, the poison stays in this body. When that one is living their best life, they don't care. They don't care. You can hate all you want. You can say certain things, but that energy affects this physical body, not the next. It sits here. Think about when you have somebody that really aggravates you. You can feel the acidity in your body build. You can usually feel like an ugly goo. You feel it. You just feel it here in your gut. It feels heavy. The feelings are in yourself, and that's why it's powerful to begin to clean up your own being, so that you start throwing into life. You put beautiful energy wherever you come. It's important because what you do out there, it comes back to you. It's the law of life. It is the law. It is written. It is law. Try it. See, when people are usually positive and they're always smiling, when they come into a room, they lift the energy. They lift the energy. But it's because it's within them, but they're able to impact space around them. So these are the things that this season is asking us to do. Sit with yourself. What things are riling in you? What things are eating you up? What things are eating away at you? Look at them. Most of the time, you're carrying things that you need not carry. Sometimes you're carrying things of other people. Sometimes you have no control over what other people say about you. But you have power over what you allow to fester in your mind, in your body, and your being. You have the power to do that. So this is how we actually rise above. It's like you now sit with yourself and take responsibility for what's happening here. Jesus did it. You don't have to save the whole world. Jesus already did it. Okay? And he's enough. Okay? You need to take care of you. The more you take care of you, the easier it is. From that overflow, others will benefit. But first, this cup must fill. This cup must fill. So this is how we rise above. It can be chaotic out there. I promise you now, I know lots of people that are thriving, and the difference is in attitude. It's in doing this internal work. I've got friends that are getting jobs, that are getting raises in the middle of a quarantine and a pandemic like this. It's like, it shouldn't be the case. But of course, we serve an amazing God.